I am here with a client of mine who has now been eating optimally for 1 year and 7 months, which is a major, major accomplishment in and of itself, right? It's a another way to demonstrate how eating optimally is sustainable and not like a diet that you're on or off. Mary has been eating optimally for 1 year and 7 months. She lives in Chaska, Minnesota. Her name is Mary Anquist. She's 76 years old. She's here to share her experience eating optimally and the health results that she's achieved eating optimally and how this has changed and improved her life. So thank you so much for being here, Mary. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So I know that you've been eating optimally for 1 year and 7 months. So this might be a challenging question to ask, but I want you to go back and think about how you felt and where you were weight loss wise before we very first spoke. What was going on with your health and your weight at that time that made you even want to talk to me as the nutritionist that I am?
The reason that when I came across the website, I was in a time of my life where nothing had worked. And I was at the point where I felt really down about myself. My weight, no matter what I did, didn't fluctuate either way. If I did lose a pound, it would come back. And I was very depressed. And I thought, I can't keep doing this all the time. I can't do this for the rest of my life. I've got some really good years ahead of me, and I want to get fit
Mm-hmm.
physically and mentally. So that's why when your website came across, I thought, I think this might be it. This might be the way that I can get back to what I feel or felt like before I gained all this weight.
Okay, so you were feeling very depressed and your weight would not budge. You'd lose like a pound despite trying things. So you just couldn't even lose weight. Some people can lose, but they always gain it back. But you at that point, you were just struggling to lose anything at all.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anything, no matter what I tried, all the old things, it just never, nothing ever worked.
Okay, so you were 74 at that point and you wanted to feel better, not be depressed, have more energy, and lose weight. So we talked, you decided to hire me. I'm so honored and thankful that you did. And
I,
you have now been eating optimally for 1 year and 7 months, which is amazing in and of itself. And I know you wouldn't still be eating optimally if it wouldn't have worked. So I went back and looked at your weight loss tracker. And in your first 10 weeks, you shed 15 pounds after not having been able to lose weight at all. What did that feel like for you to be like, oh my gosh, something works?
I think it was just mentally, I felt so invigorated thinking, I can do this.
Mhm.
This is the way that I should be eating. This is the way my body likes me to eat.
Mhm.
It's not the other ways that I did. And cutting back on just certain things, um, I didn't know what to replace it with. But on this plan, I knew exactly what I could replace it with. There were things that I thought were bad that turned out to be okay to eat,
Mhm.
um, which I really liked.
Mhm.
And just the substitutes of what you can use in place of the things that put on weight for me,
Mhm.
like butter, using a
Right.
substitute for that,
Mhm.
making your own ice cream with things that are good for you.
Like
I mean,
bananas.
like bananas, eating just non-dairy things,
Mhm.
things that were based under the optimal way of
Optimal,
eating.
yeah. I went back and I looked at your evidence list and one of the things that you wrote, we have a quote from you. I thought I died and gone to heaven eating the chocolate banana ice cream.
And
So,
knowing it was optimal, that was the part that was great. I
yeah.
didn't have to eat the stuff from the stores. I made my own, which was delicious.
Yeah, it was optimal and it was helping you shed pounds sustainably. And I love saying that for you because you have lost weight and it has been sustainable. You have been keeping it off, but
Mhm.
you were able to enjoy daily desserts. They satisfy your sweet tooth, but they're optimal enough to eat every day. So you made it through your inability to lose weight. You proved to yourself you can do this. You said you felt invigorated. You lost 15 pounds in your first 10 weeks, and then you continue to keep losing and to keep losing, which is fantastic, especially because you're 5 feet tall, right?
Yep.
And you have now kept 28 pounds off for a year and 7 months through many life challenges, which happen to everybody as the years go on. What has that been like for you to continue to maintain your weight loss through running your own business as you do and being a wife and a mom? What has it been like for you to continue to not have gained through life's challenges over the last year and a half?
Well, like you said, there were a lot of stressors in the last year and 7 months.
Hmm.
But I think I had a basis for what was the right thing to do wherever I was challenged.
Hmm.
So if I knew I had to eat 3, 4 meals a day, I made sure that I did that. I think it was just something that was put in my brain that I had to do this in order to sustain or eat the way that I wanted to.
Hmm.
And when we were faced with things in the hospital,
Hmm.
um, it was again my brain saying, "You're not going to have that ice cream that's over there. You're not going to have that over, the things that are not optimal."
Hmm.
And so I think it was just that little, all the experiences that I'd had with people talking and how we shared the information. I think that's what got me through not eating the things that I knew were bad for me, but
In,
eating
in our
things.
group calls, you mean?
Yes, the group calls and the setup on Tuesdays or one-on-ones with you.
Hmm.
Uh, those were the things that kept me going.
And like you said earlier, too, that like you knew what was optimal
Mhm.
and you knew what wasn't optimal. So when you saw a non-optimal thing in the hospital going through family stuff, you knew what to have instead that would help you continue to not just maintain your weight loss, but also help you not go backwards during a challenging time, which tends to be the case for a lot of people.
It does. I mean, that was the first thought I had. Oh, great. And I thought, oh, I'll just go back to eating. But then when I looked at what they had, I thought, no, this is definitely not what I want to do.
Yeah, it's almost like you can't not continue to eat optimally once it works and it feels so good. And you did not buy one product from me that you did this just with food.
Mhm.
And the food here is helping you. It was helping you lose weight. Do you have more energy than when you first started with me?
Oh, definitely. Definitely more and medications. I think we've discussed that. I'm going to discuss it with my doctor, but um, I was on so many different things and I don't feel I need those anymore. So I think the optimal food has helped me cut way back on that. And
Yep.
when I look at my BMI, that's gone down, that's real encouraging. At
Yeah.
my age, you have to look at those pluses because tomorrow might be the last day, but you want to keep going the best you can for the days that you have left.
Yeah, you went down, I think, 7 columns in the BMI
Mhm.
chart, and which I hope people are very inspired by watching you because you do that at 74, 75, 76 years old. And a lot of women in particular think that their age or their hormone levels or whatever it is will stop them from losing weight. And you achieved not just sustainable weight loss, again, having maintained for a year and 7 months now through hard times. And you did that without products, without shakes, without a shot. And your lab work is getting better that you're going to be talking to your doctor about reducing medications, not adding medications. So
Correct.
you are also very inspiring and a shining example for women of what is possible and to not give up on themselves.
Right. And it's really easy to do when you look at other people our age and, the optimal way of eating. I look at people now and I said, oh, I should introduce you to Trisha and friends of mine. How did you lose weight? Well, I have a really great lady. I'll have to introduce you to her.
Oh, I'm honored.
You
Um,
know,
what would you say to the woman watching this video who has struggled to lose weight? They're starting to feel depressed and hopeless. They wonder if their age just makes it not possible for them. What would you say, but in their heart and their soul, like they really want to not have to worry about this anymore. What would you say to that person who's contemplating doing this for themselves?
Well, it was the same for me. I was at that low point and I thought, well, I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life.
Mm,
If you have enough strength and um, if you still can do things, which is fine. I mean, even people on the call can't walk and now they're walking.
hmm
Um, don't give up because this might be the one thing that people have used, like myself, who has brought that depression down, who has brought that um, ability to feel good about yourself. You
hmm
know, so much of it is internally that you have to go by what your thoughts are and what you feel. And I think that eating optimally like this with your help and the help of the other people that are on, it just it encourages you not to give up. So
hmm
I would say don't, if you come across the website, talk to Trisha and go from there. And it is well worth, even if it's only for a couple months, at
hmm
least try it and see what happens. But
hmm
I wouldn't give up on anybody, no matter what age. I mean, 80s, we have
Amen.
people in the 80s and, going on 90 that they're looking terrific and they have more bounce in their steps. And I want to be like that.
hmm hmm
So the encouragement of others has also been really helpful. And the plans that you have for everybody, it's individual. It's not across the board like some of the other plans are.
Like Mary does not like oatmeal. She
No,
does
Mary
not
does not
like
either.
oatmeal, and she is not eating oatmeal in the morning.
No,
And you
she
don't
does
really
not.
love to cook. You did this not loving to cook. You have a business. You are someone that I don't love to cook. You'll cook for your family sometimes, and you made them optimal meals that they really like that you would
Yeah.
keep cooking again. But generally speaking, you wanted quick, simple, easy things you could just boop put together.
Yes. And my husband, there were times when I said, you leave my food alone. But then I realized he liked it just as much as I did. So I just doubled what I was making and we would eat together. And he even lost weight. We didn't concentrate on him just for
Mhm.
me. It all works when you have some other person that sees the outcomes too.
That's such a common problem. That's a beautiful problem to have, is
Yeah.
that your family or your spouse ends up liking what you're making that is helping you shed pounds sustainably, which is the way that it should be, especially if you're going to do it long term. You got to like or love what you're eating, otherwise it will never stick. But people are always afraid that, I cook for my husband, he'll never do it, da da da. You'll never do it if the food doesn't taste good. So as long as the food tastes good, you're gonna like it. Other people will like it, and that's something that I help ensure that we do for you. And then the spouse ends up loving it, and the real problem becomes needing to put a boundary in place so they don't eat your food.
Yep, putting notes on it in the refrigerator. Do not eat. This
This
is
is
my
for
this
me.
this is just for me.
Yeah,
So yeah,
beautiful.
it has been, and the kids of my children, when they come over, they see the signs, so they know they can't eat it too. So
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, Mary. I'm gonna miss you. It's been such an honor
yeah,
to work with you for a year and 7 months, and you did an amazing, amazing job. And I can't wait to hear your updates on how you continue to do an amazing job in the future.
I plan on giving you updates as often as I can. But thanks again for all your help. Say goodbye to the ladies. I really have enjoyed them and their insights into their lives and families. And if we get together like that and we do it as a group, it makes it so much easier than doing it by ourselves.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for being a part of that and helping everybody else in that same exact way. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.